Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Miss Erica's Crazy Costume Catastrophe. This week, Miss Erica is dressed as a train conductor. Woo woo! I think that's what a train says. I don't know. Also, special shout out to Olivia Z, who texted me an amazing idea to dress up like a movie star. So I'm still thinking about how to pull that off. If you have ideas for future crazy costumes, feel free to draw them and ask your mom or dad to take a picture of them and you can send them to me. My cell phone number is right here. So I would love to see your awesome drawings. All right, let's get started. First, we're gonna look at our big Bible timeline. We're still in the same season of Jesus's life, this 3-year period where Jesus is walking all around throughout all of Judea, Samaria, Galilee, and he is telling people about him and he's showing people what his kingdom looks like. So let's check out the timeline together. Okay, so here's a map again to just show you guys where we're at. So after Jesus was in Jerusalem for a little while, he met with Nicodemus, like we learned a few weeks ago. He actually goes out into like the countryside of Judea. And that's the story we're going to look at today. So Jesus is out in the countryside and there's a lot of water. The Bible says in John 3 that Jesus was there with some of his disciples and his cousin John the Baptist was there too. And John had people that were following him around and learning from him, and those were John's disciples. So they're all out in this same area together. There's lots of water there. And it says that both groups were baptizing people, which is awesome. People were getting baptized because they were saying, I'm going to turn away from my old life. I want to start over. And when I come out of the water, it's like telling my whole community that I'm a new person and I'm going to start over and I want to follow God. And so John the Baptist was doing that, and we learned about how even Jesus got baptized to show us to be our example. But now Jesus and his disciples are beginning to baptize people too, which is awesome. But some of John's disciples start to get jealous. They probably felt really good about themselves. For a while, there were lots of people coming to John the Baptist. And so if you were one of John the Baptist's friends or helpers, you probably felt really good about yourself because the guy you were following around and helping, your teacher, was kind of famous. He was like a big deal. And so you probably felt like a big deal. And people were coming to you. The Bible tells us that all these people from all these different jobs and places were coming to John the Baptist just to get baptized. But in John 3, we see that now everybody is starting to go to Jesus. So more and more people are coming to this area, but they're not going to John. They're going right to Jesus. And so John's disciples start to get jealous. And they actually go to John and they're like, hey, John, remember that guy you baptized a few weeks ago? He's here and he's baptizing people and everybody's going to him. Nobody's coming to us anymore. And they're hurt and they don't feel important anymore and they're just upset. But I really like John's response. John tells them, that's why I came. I came to point everybody to Jesus. I didn't come so I would be a big deal. I came, my job is to make Jesus a big deal. And he tells them this line. He says, Jesus must increase and I must decrease. You know how you learn in math? Sometimes it'll be like those greater than, less than things. That's kind of what John is saying. He's saying Jesus has got to be greater than me, and I've got to be less than Jesus. So whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm saying, should be about celebrating Jesus, should be about making him more important, making him a big deal, and not making me a big deal. And then John tells his disciples this little mini story about going to a wedding and just being a guest at a wedding. And how when you're at a wedding, the whole point isn't to celebrate you. You're not the star of the show. It's to celebrate the bride and the groom getting married. And he talks about how Jesus is the groom. He's finally come to be with his bride, which the Bible calls the church. And John says, I'm not going to get jealous about that. I'm going to be excited because that's why I'm here, to celebrate that Jesus is here. Think about it like this. When you're invited to a birthday party and it's not your birthday party, you can't make it all about you. You don't get to open presents. You don't get to blow out candles on a cake. That party's not about you. And that's a good thing. It's about somebody else. You're there to celebrate that person and say, hey, it's this guy's birthday. That's so great. And that's what John is reminding his disciples. That's the point of what we're supposed to do. We're not here to make us a big deal. We're here to make Jesus a big deal. So this week, that's what I want to encourage you guys with. As you're going around, as you're hanging out with your siblings, as you're doing virtual school and getting to be with your classmates online, as you're even just playing in the neighborhood or maybe visiting grandma and grandpa, I want you to think of ways that you can make Jesus a big deal. I know it feels good when we're a big deal. When we have a lot of attention, it feels good. But our goal every day is not to make us the star of the show, but to make Jesus the star of the show. So as you're going around this week, I want to encourage you to look for ways and places that you can make Jesus a big deal. People you can tell about him, things you can do to celebrate who he is, ways that you can say, Jesus is a big deal, and I'm here to celebrate him. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. It's been so fun hanging out with you. Thanks for watching Miss Erica's
Crazy
Costume
Catastrophe.
Bye.